It's the Battle of the Office romances. Which one of these Korean manhwa will stay, and which one will go? What's up, everyone? It's Carrie, aka Nerdygirlcreates, and just like I said earlier on, we have a battle of the Korean office romances. That's right, we're going to take a look at two manhwas today. One, which is going to be Business Proposal, and the other one is going to be What is Wrong with Secretary Kim, which we're going to start with first. So, what do I think of What's Wrong with Secretary Kim? Before we get into this, I do have a confession. I did see the K-drama before I even read this, so I do have knowledge of the story from the K-drama. I do really like the manhwa a lot. Personally, I feel like they're beat to beat with the drama. There is some deviations, but not too much diversion from the source material. So what is this about? It's about a secretary named Miso Kim. She works for one of the most powerful vice chairmen in South Korea named Yoogin Lee. And he is very egotistical, very handsome, but very egotistical. He thinks he's like so great, he's so wonderful, he's like nobody's better than him. He looks down kind of like on everybody but her, because she has been with him for 9 years, and she is the one secretary who's been able to put up with his crap, able to keep everything in line, does his daily tasks, plus even helps him out with some personal tasks like getting rid of some girls. He arranged to accompany him to different types of events, and he's really attached to her too much. And then one day after an event, they're celebrating how well it went, and she announces she's quitting. And he's taken aback, thinking, why would she want to quit when she works for me and I'm like the greatest thing in all of South Korea and probably beyond? Her motivation was she took this job so she can make enough money to support her younger sisters and send them to college. Once she attained that goal, she decided she would quit and date and find the person who would be her best match so she could start a family. Mr. Lee is kind of like confused by this. He doesn't understand why that would take priority over him, because she has spent almost 24/7 of her life for the past 9 years doing everything he needs. So he's very selfish in the beginning. He's very like, I don't understand why you would want to leave. I mean, he goes as far as saying, well, if you want to get married, fine, marry me. Not, understanding the motivation she has for wanting to be married. He just thinks if he marries her, she'll keep working for him. Thing is, I don't want to do that. I want to get married and have a family and raise a family. He tries to shower her with different things she has no interest in. He tries to offer higher salaries. He offers to pay off stuff for her. He offers to get her a car. He goes above and beyond what he really should be doing, and it gets to a point where it gets, I think, very uncomfortable for her. So she's just kind of like, whoa, pump the brakes, pump them. I really did enjoy this story, and I know I do have bias because of the series, but sometimes I've read manhwa where it has completely different from the adaptation. This is really good. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to get volume 2. I do love the art in this. I love how they draw Mr. Kim. He's very handsome, he's tall, he's well put together, and you can tell he's very refined too at the same time. She's very put together when she's at the office, but when she's home, she's in sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and she has got the hair up in a ponytail and just chilling. And he has no problem barging into her life. I also like just the kind of development Mr. Lee has over this course, because he realizes just how much more important she is to him than a secretary. And you start to see that even in the first volume, just kind of realizes this is the one person who's, put up with me, the one person who accepted me the way I am, but also the person who's not afraid to call it out when it gets out of hand. So yeah, that is What is Wrong with Secretary Kim. I do highly recommend it. If you have not checked it out, I would suggest either picking up the physical copy or going on, I think it's on Webtoons. It's on one of those. I should have researched that. I didn't. I'm dumb. But yeah, I really do like the style in this. There is a lot of swag. Did I say swag? Speaking of swag, did you know I have a store? That's right, Nerdygirlcreates has a store. And I have hoodies, coffee cups, water bottles, shopping bags, and so much more. If you're interested, please go ahead and click the link down below. And let's continue with the video. Now onto business proposal. This is slightly different from What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, because this focuses on a unexpected relationship between two people who didn't even know each other until certain circumstances threw them into the same room. I'll explain. Hara is a normal everyday office worker at this company. You know, she's low level. She never really comes across anybody up in higher management, including the CEO. She comes from a very middle class family who's kind of struggling with finances. She has this very wealthy friend who needs her help to kind of like throw off all these potential arranged marriage situations. What happens is she hires Hara to go on a date to pretend to be her. And when she's on this date, her mission is to completely turn off this person so they don't want to marry her. So Hara shows up for the date with this pink wig and this sexy getup, and she's acting all very obnoxious and very much like a vixen, trying to turn off this guy. And sitting across from her is Tamu, and he's not bothered by anything she's doing. This happens to be the first guy she's gone on one of these pretend dates with, who is completely not at all fazed by any of the tricks she's pulling. So she's taken aback, especially at the end when he decides he wants to go ahead and arrange the marriage. And Haru is now in a pickle because her friend is depending on her to make sure that doesn't happen. So one thing leads to another, and Tamu finally finds out that the girl who's sitting across from him is not the wealthy socialite he was set up with, but somebody who works at his company. So he decides to take advantage of this situation and still go ahead with arranging a marriage, even though it's with Haru, because he is having an issue with his own family demanding he gets married, especially his grandfather, who keeps setting him up on these dates, and all he wants to do is just work. So how did I feel about this one? I actually did not dislike it. I did like it, kind of like the dynamic and also kind of like the different social status between the two characters. It's played up more in this than it is in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. He has no interest in romance. He has no interest in love. He just wants to work all the time. She has a family, her parents, her brother. She needs to help them, you know, stay afloat with their own business. So she takes this gig in order to help them. So the two of them go ahead with this pretend marriage. I've only read volume 1. I have not really gotten that far through the K-drama. I only got through episode 1. I'll be honest with you about the K-drama. I wasn't too crazy about it. I think it was the actor they chose to play the male lead. He wasn't really as interesting as Park Seo-joon was in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. He was very kind of blah. I mean, I know his character is very stern and very all business, but there wasn't a kind of dynamic to him. It was just kind of ugh.
What?
The manhwa, on the other hand, I do like a lot better. The art is kind of very similar to What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. Very much, again, the male characters are almost interchangeable with their looks in the art department. Not being mean, I'm just saying, both very tall, black hair, very pronounced eyes, very well put together, refined, like I was mentioning before. You can almost not tell the difference between the two of them. The only thing is the personalities. His personality here in Business Proposal is very, like I said, all work and no play. He doesn't care about any kind of socialization unless it's meant to help further the business. He doesn't care about getting married because to him romance would just get in the way of his work. She, on the other hand, is just pretty much feeling guilty about doing this, but at the same point she needs the money. She really needs the money. She's not making enough at her job to help out the family. And she trusts her friend, but then things go awry, and her friend is just kind of like, you screwed it up, we need to fix this, and then her friend kind of throws her under the bus. It gets really crazy. I am looking forward to see how this is gonna go. So pretty much, I would say I am going to keep giving Business Proposal a chance. Not so sure about the K-drama, but I'm definitely going to give the manhwa a chance. Speaking of the manhwa, if you're looking for great deals, I would suggest Right Stuff Anime. They're having their big birthday sale right now. I have a link down below, so please use that if you're going to go ahead and shop on there. Tuesday nights is Otaku Tuesdays. That's when me and the squad get together and we talk about all the big news in manga, manhwa, anime, and much, much more. Please comment down below, and do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.